So, Teresa, yesterday, the weirdest thing happened to me.
Oh, what?
So, my husband had his phone right by his computer, which is fine. Like, we've been married forever. And I came in and he like hit his phone really weird. And then he turned kind
Oh.
of red.
Oh, that's weird and uncomfortable.
It was really so like instantly I like wanted to know what was in his phone. And I was like, okay, privacy, but I really want to know what's in his phone. So I
What
was
did you do?
So I waited till he had to go to the bathroom, and I started looking through his phone, and I got, like, that sick feeling, and I was like, "Oh my god, like, what if."
Yeah. You got jealous.
I was, like, seeing red. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna find her," and all of this stuff. He was planning an anniversary trip for us,
Oh.
but I was so worked up,
Yeah.
and I felt so dumb, and, like, it's like, why did I get so jealous? Like, where does it come from? And like, it just happened so fast. It was just like
Yeah.
all of a sudden I was just like angry and mad. And that's why I thought today it would be really interesting. Well, first to say like I'm an idiot and that's what happened. But also, I feel like sometimes if I'm being really honest, it happens to me as a creator.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think jealousy is one of those very human feelings that is completely illogical. We can talk ourselves out of it as much as we want to, but that feeling still happens all the time. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Because today we're going to talk about everything from like the stupid unfounded jealousies to the really, really personal jealousies when your friends get the agents and you don't, and they're the best sellers and you're not, and you're in writing group and everybody loves your friends piece and not yours.
And we're also going to give you some tips for how to combat it too, because it is such an uncomfortable emotion. And it's one of those that we know we shouldn't feel, but we still are. And there's ways out of it as well.
Said that. I like how you said we shouldn't feel that, because I think we've been trained to have this idea that we shouldn't feel a certain feeling. But of
Mhm.
course, we should. We're environmentally and biologically programmed to feel jealousy, right?
Yeah, jealousy is actually an evolutionary reaction to scarcity. So, um, in the past, women would feel jealous of other women, especially if they felt like another woman was going after their partner or their mates or their husband or whatever, because there was concern that there wouldn't be as many resources for themselves, for their children, for their group.
Mhm.
And then men often felt jealousy because of that question of paternity. Are they actually?
Who's your daddy?
Exactly. Exactly. So we're built for jealousy. We're built for competition. And the flip side of that is they got something I didn't get. What the heck?
Well, that's so crazy because there's there's built-in there's scarcity in the market. Like only so many agents will only take so many authors and only
Yeah.
so many books get traditionally published. But there's not necessarily scarcity in the indie market where everyone can be published and everyone can put themselves out there. And it's so interesting how people will say like have certain perceptions about which way you choose to publish based on that scarcity and which is perceived by some to be more valuable or less valuable because of almost maybe even a false scarcity. And I always think back, if you're in any type of creative setting, whether you're in any kind of class, whether it's photography class or writing class, or even when I'm riding my horses and I'm like in front of my trainer, if he's just like telling all of us how great we are and we have perfect seats, it doesn't matter at all. But if he's giving no one compliments and then he says, Morgan, you are a phenomenal writer. Then you're like, oh, and you hold that, right? But then as soon as he gives it to someone else and you don't get that compliment, I feel like
Right.
that's when the jealousy starts. It's like, wait. And then I'm motivated to work harder when someone else gets that positive compliment, even more than if I were to get a negative compliment or a positive compliment.
Right. And that can be kind of the good side of jealousy too.
Mhm.
And I see that when I do events and I pass out bookmarks. If I miss somebody, sometimes people wonder, wait, why did she not she gave one to everyone else, why not me? What's wrong with me? And that can help us grow, or it can be a very negative feedback thing where we wonder, where am I wrong? And it actually can prevent us from growing.
It's so raw, that feeling when you feel so like almost robbed.
Hmm.
And like that question of what's wrong with me that you're talking about. I
Right.
feel like jealousy is like, why am I not enough? Like, why didn't I get picked? Why am I not being noticed?
Hmm. That's a big one, especially in the creative industry when we're trying to monetize or trying to get more readers, more subscribers, more followers, listeners, whatever it is. Um, that can be a huge, huge feeling of why are they succeeding and I'm not?
Mhm.
And that can challenge us. That can help us be like, all right, I'm going to study what they're doing because I'm going to copy it.
Mhm.
Or it can shut us down with, I'm never going to get there. That person is so much better than I am. They're so much prettier. They're so much smarter. They're so much fill in the gaps. And then we stop creating, we stop trying.
I love what you said there because I think it's so powerful. Like, doesn't it come down to our internal monologue?
Right.
Amy Cuddy does a bunch of work on cortisol with stress. And in
Hmm.
her early research with like chimpanzees and primates, she found that stress could actually lead to death. But then she did more research and she extended it. And she found that stress among alpha males in certain populations actually led to longer life. And what she learned was it had less to do with the amount of stress you were feeling and more to do with how you interpreted that stress or how it fit into your worldview or the way you thought about it and how much control you had. And I wonder how that plays into jealousy. Like, do we feel more do we feel more jealous when we're more vulnerable? I feel like that would be yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of the creative process is vulnerability. We put pieces of ourself in whatever we create, whether that's a book, a story, whether that's jewelry, whether that's music, whether that's the outfit that you pick.
Mhm.
It's a part of ourself. And when somebody from our perception appears to choose somebody over what we've done,
Mhm.
that's where the jealousy kind of kicks in. It's like they're choosing them over us. They are better than us. And that's just not the case.
How about this side of jealousy? Tell me in the comments if this has ever happened to you. I literally, the thing I get jealous of the most is when people have more time than me. And I'm the one who fills up my own time.
Yeah, that's a big one for I feel that one too. And I think both of us do because our lives are so stacked. And when people when people say stuff like, oh my gosh, like I got 10 hours of sleep last night and I got to have my wonderful breakfast and then I wrote for like 2 hours and I really didn't get very far, but I thought a lot about my book and I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, I got 5 hours of sleep. I ate my breakfast while I was driving and I'm lucky if I managed to think about my book before I managed to write it.
Right? Or when they have time to go out with friends, and I'm like, and I have great friends who would love to go out with me. And I just need to like make more time. And I do it to myself. And then I find myself getting on the other side of jealousy. If I'm not careful and aware, if I don't stop myself, I can get bitter.
Yeah, even though it's our choices, that have made it so that we're only getting 5 hours of sleep and we're eating breakfast in a car. That's my choice.
And then
Um,
have you noticed too that some people on after they go through like the bitter phase, they hit like the judgy phase?
oh, that's interesting.
Well, all they do is just enjoy their breakfast and hang out with their friends.
Whereas I'm doing important stuff.
Right. Yeah, because I think it's like this constant validation of ego, which is what jealousy really is when we don't feel
Mhm.
like it's ultimately up to us to remember that we're enough and our stories are worth telling and living and experiencing. And that is why I love the semi-sage community so much and all of you listening to this, because I really believe that if you're still with us, it's for a reason. And you need to hear that you don't ever need to be jealous because your stories that you're living and telling and experiencing and creating are enough. And I hope so much that at your heart, in your deepest moments of reflection, you really believe you would never trade places with anyone else. Because if I'm really honest about it, I'm like, I would never give anything up. I would never trade my friends. I would never trade my characters that live in my head or my wonderful family, you
Yeah,
know?
I do. All right. Any aha moments or anything else other than to tell our viewers if you like this video, please like and subscribe.
And hopefully, whatever you're jealous about is as sweet as what happened to me, and that there isn't like actual,
There's
things
an
to,
actual need.
yeah. And if there is, we're here for you. We're a great writing community and we're a great friend community and we're in Discord. And so if you're looking for a place to be around amazing people who are creative and inspirational and trying to live their best stories, check us out on our Discord.
Yep, got it. All righty, everybody. Thanks for your time. Hang in there if you feel jealous. Take some deep breaths. And remember, it's your journey, it's not theirs.
And remember, your story matters.
Take care, everyone. Bye now.